around. Won't have the Wukong. He's got a Renekton instead. Still an incredibly strong carry on the top side. Against this set, though, we've seen plays go wrong against sets before. The Haymaker can turn everything around. We'll see what Cube has hidden up his sleeve. But I'm looking towards the mid lane. Forge on his Silas. This is his most played champion. This split is something he's had good success on as well, up against the LeBlanc for Angel.
Seen a lot of comfort come out for Vici here. Ike's on the Elise, the Forge on that Silas, as he just said. And we're going to have to see if they can take down Suning here and try and keep themselves in a better posting for players.
Hung has stepped way too far forward here, and Huanfeng will punish him, forces the flash immediately. And I mean, Suning going to be well happy with that one. Just get a free flash to start things off.
And it means that Hung now has to play a little bit more passive in this bottom lane, take a step back, and that might give SOFM a target to help Huanfeng and Sword Art in this bottom lane.
I think the Colonel was watching the last game because he's voting for Suning pretty much the whole time this time around. Can't say I blame him either. But this composition from Suning feels like it's got a little bit more ability to make things happen. And on the other side, Vici, kind of a similar story. iBoy once again, though, going with this lethality. He firmly believes in this version of Varus.
He loves this version of Varus, and we'll be looking to see if he can keep the pressure that he's had in this bottom lane going with this style. Again, we're seeing it's into the Braum, so not having the best of wave clear on the Suning support. So I think he should still have the potential to push in aggressively here and take some of these turret plates, but we'll have to see if Ike's can facilitate that by playing down towards this bottom side.
Ike's will start off on his blue buff, as you rightly say. That typically will mean that he's going to path over towards the bottom side, maybe try and set up a play there later on. SOFM mirroring to the other side of the map, so he'll start at his blue, move up topwards, but there is that ward in the red buff coming out from Vici, so they'll know when he gets towards the top side of the map. Huanfeng taking a lot of punishment in that trade.
Nice trade for the Vici bottom lane, and this is how it starts to happen. You get these trades that are coming in, you've more sustain that's on iBoy because he's gone for the corrupting potion, and you just can't really answer for it on Suning's side. Yes, you've got the double ups that sometimes can land, but if they're inconsistent or they're not happening enough, iBoy can sustain really effectively here.
You really can, and these arrows are just going to keep on coming on through, and we've seen across this series, iBoy will land the arrows. You're not going to dodge them. He's been so accurate with those piercing arrows across this series. And, I mean, lethality virus is just really hard to deal with. Anyone that wants to build a corrupting potion, sorry, can be very difficult to deal with in the laning phase.
Keep your eyes also alongside this bottom lane towards the top lane. Bin now has locked in the strong counter pick against this set and is looking to bully it out. He's doing a good job so far. You can see shoving in this wave super aggressively because he knows that he's going to have SOFM here to pressure alongside him and just try and help Cube in losing as much CS as possible underneath this turret.
Trying to force him underneath that turret, trying to force him to lose that CS, as you say. It's going to be on the set, though, so we'll do a decent job. Look at the positioning from Bin. He's in the tri-brush right now. Just trying to deny these waves, trying to do whatever he can. He's trying to find Ike's as well, but Ike's got the recall off, and I don't think he was spotted there.
What this says to Bin, though, is that Ike's has cleared out his topside jungle and we're moving bot, so now he can again ramp up this pressure onto Cube. So this is where we're seeing Hong and iBoy. They're going aggressive because you've got Ike's in the bottom lane, but it's Bin who's going to be leading in this top lane.
And I feel like Bin has become more and more of a factor in this series as it's gone on. Game number 1 didn't feel impressive at all. Didn't feel like he could have an impact in really any way. Game number 2, though, it was all about Bin. He gets our MVP. He showed that this Wukong pick is a priority for a reason. And now he's actually in trouble. Flashes away from the Haymaker. We'll have his Q shortly, but decides to end the trade there.
So the idea here for Bin is to go in a trade aggressively with your combo and then slice and dice back out, so then you don't end up taking the brunt of this damage or even allow Cube to build up a lot of this pit grit for the Haymaker damage. Bin, though, we've seen it before. He'll take these aggressive trades where he's not really in a space to go for it, and Cube, now punishing, gets the flash out of Bin.
Angel will be able to clear away this wave in the mid lane. It's a huge stack up for him. Might be able to get a small CS advantage for himself. But let's talk the points at which these compositions are going to come online here, because Vici, once again with the lethality virus, it's all about kind of the mid-game pushing your advantage. Silas needs a couple of items before he's really going to have a massive impact in the fights.
He definitely will. He'll be looking towards getting that Hextech Proto Belts and probably the Zhonya's Hourglass as well, but you're looking again at more of a skirmish-orientated style for Forge, where he likes to be in a 1v2 or 2v3 style of fights, and that's what Vici will be looking for here, to see if you can get Forge and Cube on these flanking positions where they can force Suning to deal with them off in different scenarios, or as we already talked about, in this 1-3-1 style split push.
Bin's going to have himself a little bit of a freeze in the top lane. Cube is going to do his best to try and stop that one, but SOFM has moved towards the bottom side of the map. He knows Ike's is around. But I think he was spotted himself, actually. Ike's going to be waiting in the tri-brush here. He's a level down, though. Cocoon's not going to land, and Ike's has to scuttle away into the darkness.
You see Angel was starting to roam down as well, so not convinced that there wasn't going to be a party in the bot lane. Vici rightly back off. But again, this is giving control to SOFM in the bottom lane, where historically in this series, iBoy and Hung have done a good job of keeping that. But now, with being able to pressure in this top lane by his own, SOFM can get this dragon, I think.
Nope. He's not interested. He's going to go towards the mid lane instead. Forge standing on a ward here. SOFM just going to recall. I'm not 100% sure. Here we go. I guess Vici, they're going to be the ones that move in on towards this dragon instead. iBoy will now get priority in the bottom lane. There's no way Huan Feng and Sword Art can just walk in through river, so they have to go all the way around. They clear away this wave. They can move towards the dragon instead, or at least clear vision for themselves.
Well, Huan Feng will be stuck underneath this tower for a little bit with this wave, so they can definitely turn towards this. You can see even Forge has got control of that mid lane wave as well, so this is perfect timing for Vici to either look to invade here onto the blue or turn back towards this blue buff.
SOFM's here, though. We could actually have a fight on our hands. Tahm Kench pulls it away, but they're looking for the jungler right now. SOFM jumps over the wall. Angel there to save him. Sword Art now the target, jumps over to his ally. Too many dashes on the side of Suning. Vici can't quite find a target.
Well, Vici win. This is the call that we wanted from them. When you've got Huan Feng stuck underneath his tower in bot lane, you've got LeBlanc who's struggling to clear that wave in mid, you get the opportunity to go for these plays.
Yeah, but Bin sees that it's all going off in the bottom side, so he's like, well, I want a blue buff. I don't care if I've got no mana. I'll get myself Golem. And the dragon's still not going to be started. Ike's deciding not to go for that one just yet. Maybe going to start this one off, though, now. Completely undecided.
iBoy is looking to try and push in this wave and then go across and help. You can see he's now successfully done that. Cube going to spot out Bin here, but SOFM is in the wings. Yeah,
Cube just wanted a ward, but he's bitten off more than he wanted right here. Doesn't get the stun. Nice little dash there. Showstopper comes on through, and a haymaker. SOFM's in trouble. Forces the flash, though. Bin continues the fight.
Stops SOFM trying to trade objectives, though. The dragon goes over towards Vici, and SOFM was looking to maybe sneak away this Rift Herald with the help of Bin, but that's no longer the case with the low health bar that's on the Suning jungler.
Really nicely done by Cube there to contest that one, and it cost him his flash, but you know what? If it denies that Herald, it's probably worth it. And now, Cube still hanging around in the top lane. Hung's moved up.
iBoy's just about to do the same. Hitting that back, serrated Dirk in his pocket. He'll be moving up towards this mid lane to then shift over towards this Rift Herald when it suits Vici to go and contest that.
Forge doesn't have teleport available, and he's going to be recalling right now. Sword Art has moved up to the top side as well.
Huan Feng does have teleport available, though. So this is why we're seeing the Suning AD carry still on the bottom side. Suning loving to put the resources into Huan Feng. He'll look to clear out these waves, then start to get work on these turret plates. And as the fight's about to kick off, that's when Huan Feng will make his way with the teleport to this Rift Herald.
Well, Hung has started things off here on the Herald. He knows that with the Eye of the Herald, even as a support, you can start this one off effectively. But Suning are going to be around to try and contest this one. SOFM still quite a way away, though, with the Eye here. Teleports now being channeled by Huan Feng. Vici needs to be careful how much they commit to this objective. SOFM's here with the smite. Ikes misses the cocoon. But the Herald hasn't reset just yet. It's about to. Will reset now. And it's Suning that are in position. Chains of Corruption comes through onto Huan Feng. They're trying to get onto the carry. Flashes to safety, though. Sword Art gets away with his own life as well. Is SOFM looking for a kick, but Cube ruining everything. Now a kick through the team. Haymaker misses. Huan Feng went down, but it's going to be answered with Zoom. Now onto the rest of the team as it's Cube actually that went down. Zoom's on the wrong team. Hung the final target to go down. SOFM gets the kill for that one, but he wants more. Oh, the prediction! No, it wasn't. I thought that was a Sonic Wave. Looking at the wrong carry.
It wasn't quite able to do it, but unfortunately Vici not able to find the victory in that fight. Forge had no ultimate up and available, so wasn't able to steal away some of these clutch ultimates that could have turned that fight.
Oh.
And that reset on the Herald meant that Vici had to overextend. So across the board, this was pretty disastrous for Vici. Look at the way this fight starts off. The top lane wave had just collapsed into the turret, so Cube missing out on gold and CS there. Forge having no ultimate available means when he goes in aggressively here, doesn't get onto Huanfeng, instead hits the Rift Herald, and it's all disastrous here because Vici now are all over the place, with Suning collapsing from all sides, and there's nowhere for them to try and run and reset this fight for them.
And once again, Suning drafting these compositions that do so well at level 6. These ultimates all so impactful. Really, really nice fight from the side of Suning. I got so excited, I thought it was SOFM that had thrown a Q. I thought he'd predicted the flash. It was Angel. But SOFM, with 2 kills in that fight on this Lee Sin, he's found himself a pretty significant lead over Ike's.
And Suning can now, with this control they've finally gotten in this series of the early game, we can look to see what they're capable of doing with this. Dragon is up in a minute 45. You can already see they're starting to move in here and get some vision control in this river. And this is how it needs to start. This is how I want to see Suning pressurize their leads, getting more with the gold they've already got for themselves.
They've got themselves the lead. About 1,000 ahead here. Minute and a half until the Dragon will be back on the map. You can see Vici. They want to make a play here, but SOFM is going to be here to answer. Spotted out by the Scryer's Bloom, though.
So there is their option for SOFM with this Rift Herald to try and create pressure as this Baron spawns. So they're getting in here, getting some vision down, and trying to see if maybe we position Huanfeng towards the bottom here. SOFM can move over and get some turret plates over into Huanfeng's pocket.
Angel going to clear out the mid wave once again. Dragon spawning soon, just under a minute, and you can see that's why both teams putting a lot of pressure in this bottom side. Cube could be in trouble here. The Herald going to be dropped. Huanfeng going to be happy to just grab some gold. Not interested in diving right now. They just want to get these plates while they still can. A lot of plates go over. Dodge away from the face breaker as well. Cube can't do much about this one. They might be able to get one more plate before they time out here.
I'm looking at Huanfeng. That was a good amount of gold that went into his pocket. So Huanfeng would love to back right now, finish off his first item, and then TP back in for this dragon fight. Looks like that's what he's just about to do now. Although, as I say that, looks like he's going to continue pushing this wave. So Suning not really in a position right now to contest for this objective with the low mana that's on Huanfeng.
Dragon up in just a couple of seconds now. See both junglers hanging around this bottom side. Angel gets himself a blue buff, very crucial for LeBlanc in the early game to have that to impact these fights. He's still on a ward though, so Ike's will know what's going down here. Misses the cocoon. Ike's has not been doing so well on these cocoons so far this game.
Vici though have control of the river. SOFM though starting to move in with the rest of Suning to clear this out. Dragon now started. Pulled
out on the side of Suning. Cube going to be locked up by Angel. Trades the bit of the damage back though. Forge desperate to go into the pit. Will be finished off by Suning. Repel comes through from Ike's, keeps him safe from the bullet time. Bin goes in, gets the stun, but there's a showstopper, and Huanfeng could be in trouble. The stun is there. Cube with a massive haymaker as well. Huanfeng goes down. Forge now getting onto the back line. He's got his Dominus. His sword art will be finished off as well. VG, they lose the dragon, but they found themselves the fight they wanted, and another kill for Forge.
This was disastrous for Suning. SOFM end up kicking Cube into Huanfeng's retreat path, so there was nowhere for the Suning AD carry to run to, and Vici find the team fight that they needed and now can get some of these turrets.
They can get onto this tier 1 in the bottom lane. This will be the first turret of the game beyond the 14-minute mark here. It's a little bit later than what we usually see, but it will still be that local gold given away to the side of Vici.
So keep an eye on where Huanfeng needs to try and escape to in this fight, because Cube gets a great engage off of this play, and then it turns into, oh god, I've really messed up. Huanfeng nowhere to escape to. There's nowhere then for the rest of Suning to try and jump onto the back line of iBoy, because look at where this LeBlanc is positioned. She's stuck in the pit. iBoy is further away than can possibly imaginably close the gap as this LeBlanc. And Vici pick up the fight.
Really nicely done from Vici there. And look at Forge's scoreline. We saw it. Game 1 on the LeBlanc, he was an absolute terror to deal with. Now in game number 3 on this Silas, he's looking good once again. A lot of pressure on his shoulders to have a real impact in this mid-game. Significant gold lead in terms of the plates, though, going the way of Suning. It does mean that the gold is just about even after that fight. But importantly, that plate gold is spread very evenly across the lineup of Suning. There isn't just one person that got completely stacked up.
Whereas when we look at Vici, Forge is definitely in that commanding position for them right now. 3 kills, a 300 gold bounty. And when we talked about Vici opting into this 1-3-1 style, this is perfect for them. Although Bin looking to just ignore him.
Yeah, and I think he can as well, because Forge can't clear the wave quick enough. The stun comes through, and actually Dominus immediately. Forge can walk away, though. They've managed to force the tier 1. That's the most important thing.
Look at the top lane, though. Pings galore on towards getting that top lane turret in favor of Vici. Suning are here, though, for Forge.
Forge needs to be careful, but with only a couple of minions, they can't really force the issue on this one. SOFM, I think, realizes that he needs to go make something happen elsewhere. Bin continues to pressure this tier 2, and SOFM going to come around from behind, but the minions are cleared. Bin's going to be tanking. Forge desperate to escape from this one. Kicks away Bin, who's still tanking the tower. He goes down. Forge has pulled it off. 2 versus 1, and now Cube's here to save the day as well. SOFM dashes away and runs off with his tail between his legs, but Vici Gaming aren't just done yet. Hung is on his way, and Cube's here to finish the job. SOFM desperately trying to find a way out, but there's nowhere to run for him. He wants the execute, but I think he knows he's not going to get it at this point. Hung.
It's ring around the rosy still, though.
What is going on? He might actually get the execute. I don't think there was a hit that went through.
He can escape. Look at the top. He can run. Oh, no, he's going to go back in for the execute, is he?
Okay,
there,
execute comes through. SOFM, fair play, my friend. Keeps hold of his bounty.
And because Cube teleported down towards the bottom lane, Ike's had to stop the Rift Herald because Huanfeng and Sword Art were pressuring. Now with SOFM dead, though, they can go back towards that objective.
They can look towards this Rift Herald. SOFM, he bought a good amount of time, wasted a lot of time, especially for Hung there. But ultimately, it was a misplay on the side of Suning. They try and make the dive happen, and Forge completely outplayed them.
A really nice steal on the Lee Sin kick to set up that play. Now Vici getting a little bit more of a foothold in this game, and it's crazy to think that, yes, we've got 5 kills over towards Vici, but the gold is pretty much dead even as of right now. A lot of that, coming from the likes of Bin having the CS advantage. We talked about Renekton being in the lead when it comes towards this matchup. And as well, looking towards the bottom lane, iBoy is starting to eke out a bit of a nice CS lead for himself there too.
Yep, this lethality virus working wonders for them. But I think it's important to take stock of where this gold is for either of the teams, because you've already mentioned it. Forge is massive. Getting yet another kill in a 2v1 there, keeps hold of his bounty, denies the shutdown, but most importantly, gets more gold. The gold on the side of Suning is all in the pocket of SOFM. Having your gold 4 kills for a mid laner versus 2 kills for a jungler, I'm going to pick that mid laner every time.
Especially as this dragon is starting to spawn. Now you get the chance for Forge to make use of that gold that he's picked up. I see those Suning first to the punch here, already in the river, trying to see if they can get Vici to back off, but Vici have this Rift Herald, so they're creating pressure mid and forcing Suning to react.
Just like Bin, once again, struggling to have as much of an impact on this Renekton. Now the Wukong's taken away, and he's going to be the target for Cube. Showstopper used very early on, though.
Was hoping to get Ikes with the Cocoon to follow, but Ikes didn't invest the flash to keep him locked up. Now you've got that main engage tool for Vici, well, one of the big engage tools for Vici not available.
Dragon getting low, though. You see Ikes is in the pit. They want to try and contest this one. Angel can't do much on the backline. Ikes taken down to half, and he's left alone by his team. They need to get in here and save the Spider. Dragon will be finished off. Huanfeng gets the kill, and now they're going to finish off Jungler as well, but Hung saves him. Once again, the flash comes through. Bin in the middle of everybody here. Forge can't turn it around. Haymaker, but it doesn't finish the kill. 2 over to Suning.
And Suning punish that pick from Vici that they tried to go for. Cube not having the showstopper means that you can't separate out this fight. You can't get access to the back line. And Suning ripped through Vici.
Phenomenal team fight coming through from Suning, and this is the strength that we know them for. This is what they're drafting for as well, using these key ultimates together, and being a nuisance on this Renekton, getting through the team.
Now Huanfeng is able to pick up a bunch of gold for himself in this mid lane. They've gotten that second dragon for themselves. This is Suning starting to look pretty good in this game, and a lot of it is off the back as well of SOFM on this Lee Sin. It's been an old pocket pick for this guy, and even though it's been meta, but he still looks incredibly strong on this pick.
You can see Dragon got so low, but it was actually Huanfeng that grabbed it.
So, look at Huanfeng in this fight. He's completely untouched because you don't have the likes of Cube. He can get access with the Showstopper. Forge is fighting this front-to-back fight as well, so he can't really get onto the back line. So it's easy then for Suning to try and clear up this fight with Angel on the flank.
And Angel finishing that kill off at the end there. iBoy won't be able to do quite as much as he wants in these skirmishes until he's got a couple of those lethality items. And it's an unfortunate fight coming through for Vici, because you would have expected that with the Herald going down in the mid lane with their positioning, maybe they could have done something. But because Cube used that Showstopper so early, not like he didn't really have a way to have a proper impact.
Now we're looking at the Baron as the next port of call for Vici, trying to move in to get vision control down. Suning, though, can definitely look to fight back. Talked about how good LeBlanc can be in popping over a wall, getting a control ward in place, or at least checking out to see where the enemy team might be in certain situations.
All 3 teleports about to be available for the side of Vici. Cube's just about to come off cooldown. Not the greatest ultimate I've ever seen from iBoy there, just going to go wide. But I want to see Vici now using these teleports. I want to see some side lane play, especially from Forge. It's what we saw in game number 1. It's where the success came for Vici. iBoy needs to be very careful, because Angel will finish him off if he's not.
Vici are struggling to get pressure on the side lane. You can see Forge was looking towards Huanfeng, but didn't have the backup of his team or the vision control to think, okay, I can take this fight against the Misfortune.
I'm happy to take a couple of hits here if it means vision control, and that's exact. I thought that was him channeling a TP then. It completely baited me. The recall came through at the exact same time. I was like, Tom Kench is running TP? It's not. It was just a recall. But Suning now in control of the Baron bit. They're going to be the ones with priority because of these recalls that came through from the side of Vici. And we'll see what they can do with that priority, but it feels like we're kind of going to be rinse, repeat, and clearing waves until this next dragon.
I'd love to see Bin being a little bit more proactive on this bottom side as well. He's trying to push in against Cube, but Cube at this stage has started to build up enough defenses against this Renekton that he is struggling to get through that. Also, haven't seen the usual build come through from Bin, which is the Blade of the Rune King. This is where you get a lot of that split push damage, and you can really punish this set pick on a side lane, but opting instead towards the Black Cleaver and the Sterix Gauge means you don't really have the same amount of split push pressure, so we're relying on Bin instead to get into these fights.
Makes a lot of sense, though, when you think about how Suning play the game. SOFM caught. That's more like it, the ult from iBoy, but he's in trouble. Bullet time with a Braum on top of it, and he will go down. Huanfeng grabs that kill. Forge is incredibly low, and Bin wants to continue the fight. Dominus popped. He's going to be straight onto Cube. He's stunned up. There's no way out of this one for him. The face breaker's not enough, and another kill goes the way of Suning. Angel grabs it.
Suning wish that they still had SOFM up and available, so maybe they could threaten this Baron, but they still do a pretty slow Baron comparative to a lot of teams, especially when you don't have that Blade of the Rune King. We're talking about a Renekton. Angel can't really burst through too heavily, so Suning will need a little bit more of a convincing win with SOFM still up before they can turn towards that objective.
This is what I like to see, though, a bit more of a close game. It's back and forth between these two teams. And it means that we're going to see some big fights over the next 10 minutes or so. We're going to see these 5v5s.
Give it near 10 seconds, 15 seconds until that dragon is up. And both these teams will be looking to fight, especially Vici, trying to stop Suning from getting to Soul Point.
They need to. Hung is here to try and get some pressure, try and get some vision. The rest of his team now arriving as well. As you rightly say, the Mountain Drake is on the map. Angel will continuously try and poke out before the fight. It's what we saw from Forge in game 1 on this LeBlanc. And Angel has got to live up to that performance. SOFM started the dragon, though. Vici posturing for a fight, but they're going to be flanked by Angel here. Bin can jump on into this one. Cube goes in. Showstopper isn't going to be there in time. Dragon goes the way of Suning. Can they finish off a fight, though? Can they find something else for it? Instead, Cube has gone way too deep. There's no follow-up from the rest of Vici, and now they find themselves 4 versus 5. Bin's had to recall, but he's got his TP available. They're on to Sword Art. The Unbreakable's there. Bullet time is pretty huge, though, and they trade the kill. Now onto Angel. He flashes away to safety, and Forge is going to be rooted up himself. Eaten up by Hung, but Hung's going to go down himself. In came Bin again, and Forge cannot escape from this one. SOFM's here. The Kingslayer, not enough healing, and another kill for Bin.
We wanted a convincing fight win for Suning. They got it. Now they can turn towards this Baron. Everyone aced on Vici. Suning have finally found the magic we were looking for.
And you know what? After game number 1, I didn't think this was going to be much of a series. It felt like Suning weren't here to play, but they have shown up in game number 2. They're showing up again in game number 3. They get a bonus tower in the mid lane as well as a Baron.
Suning, with the lead that they've got for themselves, can now push in, get vision control, and look to take down these outer tier 2s. And this was a fantastic fight, all off the back of this LeBlanc. Look at how difficult it is for Vici to deal with Angel, who's popping in over the wall, continuously threatening iBoy, and doing it right as you see Cube go aggressive onto the back line of Suning. So it's this disjointed fight from Vici where Suning can thrive.
Really nice play as well from Angel on this LeBlanc, consistently jumping in and out of these fights, but then Bin TPs back in, gets straight onto the back line, and just tears them apart.
Didn't even look fair to begin, but now Suning with this Baron, it's going to become a lot worse. You've got a 4,000 gold lead for Suning in this game. Bin now, we said he might struggle a little bit to split push in this side lane. Baron's definitely going to help in that regard, while the rest of Suning are grouping up together to start pushing this mid lane. Keep your eyes onto Angel as well. If he can come in off of the dark vision that's going to be in this bottom side jungle, he can start to poke on iBoy in this mid lane, or even try and help out Cube on this bottom side.
It's important to mention as well that when it comes to the gold across this team, it was Bin that got the shutdown onto Forge. In comes Angel trying to find more. Knock up though onto iBoy. Hung saves him. Bullet time is there though. Repel keeps the jungler alive, but Angel finishes off Hung. Change the corruption ain't gonna do much. And Suning, they want a snowball right now. It's possible they might just end the game.
They have got the inhibitor. They're chasing onto Forge. This is why they want to try and finish, but if Forge can buy time, Vici can't finish. LeBlanc, Angel turning back towards the inhibitor.
He can deny the minion wave, but that's about all he can do. Huanfeng and SOFM here. The whole goon squad gonna chase him down, but actually does a lot of damage onto Huanfeng. Sword Art's here to protect though. The stuns not quite available just yet. The ward will keep vision here as he goes back on in. Forge gets the jump away. Will eventually go down here, but he did a good job of surviving for a while. Huanfeng gets the kill.
He bought the time that Vici needed. That was all that was required of him. Now you can see Bin going to collect that wave in the top lane and see if he can get the wave pushing in their favor in top, while you've got Angel pushing in the bottom lane to help that wave in their favor. But overall, this is a super good play from Suning. Looking at the way Angel was playing this again, playing into the dark, that vision that we talked about not existing on the bottom side for Vici, and it causes enough of disruption that Suning can get in for the kills.
SOFM has a stopwatch at the end there to keep himself safe. That is now a GA. So does Bin have in the top lane, if I can just sentence right. Oh dear, it's all going a bit Pete Tong now. Getting tired. We've had 2 pretty long series on our hands here. And Suning, though, on the cusp of finishing this one off. They've got the Baron, they've got a mid lane inhibitor, and they want to turn it into one in the bottom side as well.
Keep your eyes on the Dragon. 50 seconds until that one spawns as well. So Suning have got plenty of options that they can work with here. And again, look at how dark the map is. Nobody really knows where the other team is right. Well, apart from Vici, who are in their base. But if they move out at that point.
Yeah, they're Vici, there's not many places that they can be at this point, but 30 seconds until that Mountain Drake. As you say, this would be Mountain Soul for Suning. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Lethality Varus, if there's one soul that you really hate, it is the Mountain Soul.
Vici now trying to get into this river, get some vision back for themselves. Suning though, they've got a lot to play with here. They can keep just shoving in this mid wave if they want, cause Vici to dance the beat of their drum.
Ooh, But Vici want to find a pick. Bin is the target. He has GA, but Ike's is going to trade his own life for this one. It's all gone wrong. Vici, this might be the end of the game, honestly. They're going to fall apart. Bin goes into the backline, tears them down. Haymaker hits nobody. Double for Bin, and that is surely game for Suning.
It was a shaky start to this game, but Suning, in a commanding position in game number 3, will accelerate their lead to a well-earned victory.
It was a slow burner of a series, but Suning turned it on. They looked like they never even showed up in game 1, but by the end of game 3, they looked like a dominant force and take the victory.